Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you tuning in for the first time, my name is Chelsea and I'm a first-time mommy with a little girl that's due in July. And this is my 26-week pregnancy update. This week, baby girl is 14 inches long and about 1.7 pounds. The Bump app is what I follow and it says that she's the size of kale, which I feel like is awkward. But yeah, she's the size of kale. Last week it was a cauliflower, this week it's kale. And I guess that's more in the length, not so much the weight, because I don't think this is 1.7 pounds. But nevertheless, she's getting bigger. And I feel like I'm running out of a little bit of room in there. But I know I have a while to go. A little bit on my stats, I am 5'7.5", almost 5'8". And today I weighed in at 170 pounds. I started my pregnancy at 143, so I have gained 27 pounds so far this pregnancy, which feels like a lot. And I'm trying not to freak out about it. But this weekend was no help. My mom had a shower for us and there was cookies and cakes, and I definitely did not eat as healthy as I had hoped or wanted. But we'll talk about that a little bit more in my symptoms and how things are going. This week, I can say I've definitely started to feel a little bit more uncomfortable. I've watched a lot of YouTube moms and seen, like, they talk about discomfort and how they're not sleeping at night. I have been sleeping very well, thank God. My sleep is still pretty sound and solid. I definitely turn from side to side through the night, but I fall right back to sleep very easily. But I've been feeling a little bit more uncomfortable, just kind of heavier and fuller, faster. I feel like I can't eat a big meal. I get really uncomfortable, like there's just no room. And I know that she's a long way to go still, so it'll be interesting to see how this continues to progress over the next 14 weeks. I did my glucose screening last week, so we did the glucose test, and I go this Friday to see my doctor just to get like the results and to hear our baby girl again on the Doppler and do our checkup. But the app that they have through the hospital gave me my lab results, and the glucose screening came back good, thank God. But one thing that I did see that showed up on there was anemia. And so it mentioned something about pregnancy anemia, which I know can be very common. And that definitely explains why my fatigue was so high last week. I literally felt like I could take a nap at my desk last week. I was just very tired. I couldn't feel rested. So if it is anemia, that makes sense. I told my husband Jeff, and he went out and bought like ground beef and steak and spinach. So it's funny, I felt my energy go back up this week. I've had steak for breakfast and lunch the last 2 days, which I know is weird for breakfast, but been doing like a steak with some sauteed spinach, and I've felt better. So I know that's definitely upping my iron, but I'll talk to my doctor a little bit more about it on Friday when I go. This past week was so nice because I had gone to Ohio, so this was probably the last trip that Jeff and I are taking on a plane, and we traveled to Ohio. I'm in Orlando, Florida. My whole family's up north in Ohio. So my mom threw us a baby shower this past weekend, and it was so nice. She had a lot of her cousins, my second cousins that I don't get to see very often, and a lot of family was there, and it was so nice, you guys, just to be able to go home and see everyone. I always feel like baby showers, it's like I don't care about gifts. I care about spending time with friends and family and being able to celebrate the fact that we're bringing a baby into the world and we're growing our family. My grandma is one of 17, I think. Like so much so to where she doesn't even remember some of her older siblings. And she's 82, but she's had 5 kids, and they lots of cousins, and so I have just a really big family up north, and it's really nice to be able to add to the family and to have a little girl coming into our family. It just makes me like super emotional and excited at the same time. But it was wonderful. So baby girl got a lot of awesome things. One of them is actually this blanket. So I have 2 blankets now, 2 baby blankets on either side of me, were made by some of my patients at my job, which was super sweet and thoughtful. But then this blanket here was made by my great Aunt Miriam. So my grandmother's sister, and she made it before she passed away. And my aunt wrote me this card that basically said Grandma got the Afghan off of her before she passed, and it was the last one that she made. And Grandma said that they were holding on to it for the next baby in the family. And oh, I was like, I got all emotional and cried. But it was just really sweet. And then I love that she's going to have something that's homemade, that's made by someone in the family. So that's hanging out on her crib. And I don't know if you can see anything. I don't think you can see anything else. But the nursery is coming along. I've been ordering some stuff, getting things kind of squared away for her nursery. So that's been exciting. And putting all of her clothes in her closet and starting to organize. And I'm hoping that by time I do get everything set up, I'll be able to do like a nursery tour for you guys. So stay tuned for that in the coming weeks. But other than that, I feel like I'm rambling, but I haven't really had any new symptoms, just some heartburn, and that's about it, I think. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I will update you guys again next week. If you want to hear what's going on week 27, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up if you like this video. I will leave you guys with a bump update. I wore this before. I'm gonna go to work now, so I'm gonna change, but I wore this so you could actually see my skin, because a lot of times I film after work and you can't really see, you just see the bump. But I'll be able to show you guys today that I think I'm starting to get the Linea negra, that little black line. I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like I can see it. So bump from the side. It's getting bigger. And from straight on, I'm really feeling like my belly button's gonna pop out, which is kind of weird, but she's growing. She's growing, I don't know. I feel like we have a long way to go still, but I don't know that my body has a long way to go still. It's gonna be like, that's enough. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you all next week when I post the 27-week update. Have a great one. See ya.